Hey guys, what's going on? It's Mons here with another episode of Mons and More. So I got some different guests today. To my left, you can see I got my buddy Chris here.
What's up?
He is one of the mechanics here at the shop. And then to my right, we got Darius over here.
What's up?
He himself is a car guy. He wasn't squeaking a little bit. You're right off the edge of the camera. There we go. All right, I'm sorry guys for the 6 feet thing. We don't have that much of a space. But we're good. We're good, I promise. So here we are. So leading up to the point of today's video is going to be Fast and Furious. All right. So a few days ago, we were just talking about movies and everything that's going on, just the same old stuff on TV, nothing to watch. And then somehow Fast and Furious crept its way in there about how it sucks because this week we're not getting the movie. We got to wait a whole nother year. So we were talking about the movies, what's the best, what's the worst, good moments, bad moments, and then it started with the cars. Now we said, all right, here we go. What are some of your favorite cars in there? And we were talking about like 3, but then we wound up listing out like 70 or 80.
Yeah, went from 3 to 70 real quick.
It got bad. It got real bad. So then I just ran with it and I thought of like this. I went this whole other direction. These two have no idea what they're in for. They just know the last piece of it. All right. If you listen carefully, in the background we got some good entertaining music. All of these songs are from the course of all the different movies. So there's some musical entertainment in the background for you as well.
And in the comments, list what movie these songs are from for extra credit points.
Ooh, that's good. Bonus points.
I like that.
You like that. All right, here we go. Yes, the artist of this one is named after a food. Okay.
Fun fact.
Yeah, right. Okay. So again, they don't know the discussions that we're going to be having. I have everything via email in my phone. So I have this low budget format that's ready for you guys. Oh no. Oh well, I skipped the song. It is what it is. So here we go. So, all right. So for you guys, let me ask you. Chris, we'll start with you. Once Chris is done, then Darius, you jump on the ship. What got you into cars?
My grandpa. And then my grandfather had me in the freaking garage when I was young, wrenching, throwing car parts at me whenever he'd get mad. He had anger problems, cars. And then just ever since then, I was like, okay, this is huge anger problem reducer. So ever since then, I just started working on cars, just making it eases me.
Okay. So how old were you when you got into cars?
I guess fully actually understood what I was doing, probably about 14, 15. I actually started getting the idea of like what a car actually does and what I can do to make it better and fix it and stuff like that.
Okay, so that's about what, 14, 15 years?
Yeah, roughly.
Okay. All right, there. So what was it for you? What got you into cars?
As cheesy as it sounds,
Uh-oh.
the Fast and Furious movies.
All right. No. That's not cheesy. Because that's my answer. No, like, is there like one specific movie? Was it something about the movie?
It was just the first one, and like just initially seeing that like, like all these cars have the potential to look cool, and you have like all these possibilities to do anything you want to a car. It definitely like caught my attention like 110%. And as far as that goes, it's been history ever since. I cannot own a car without tinkering with it.
Okay.
I could see that as a kid too, seeing that on TV as they go to freaking rev up the starting line, see the flames pop out the tailpipes.
No.
What the? All right, let's go.
All right, so like Darius said, I can relate with him because for me, when the first movie came out, if I want to remember the date, I believe it was June 24th of 2001. That was the Friday the movie came out. I graduated that prior Tuesday, which was the 21st. So for me, my dad was always saying, hey, don't you want to get into cars? He wanted me to help him with oil changes. He wanted me to, hey, do you want to go to auto shop? I didn't care about cars. For me, it was A to B. I saw the movie, then it became a lot more with what Darius said. That's kind of what it was for me. So just a little bit more insight, a little bit more fun facts. Again, so Fast and Furious, that's what got me into cars, so I just went over that. Now here's another one. I think these guys know it. I think I went over this. Now for those of you who follow me and know some of the weird stuff that I do, our background, I just had twins that are about 5 months old, a boy and a girl, all right? My son, Connor, I actually named him after the character in the movie. Me and Christina, we were going around, we were tinkering with names. We're just trying to come up with names all over the spectrum. One name she actually came up with I'm not going to mention now just because it ties into later of what we're doing in here. But that was one version of a name in this. And then I was at home one day, it was my day off, I was watching the movies, and they had referred to Brian as O'Connor. I want to know if it was the 4th or 5th, and I said, oh shit, I'm like, Connor. I'm like, what about that? I presented that to Christina. I called her up at work, and she was doing whatever, and it took her like a week to come around on it. So, there we go. So obviously she went with it. And here's another thing, all right? Now, I thought about this before, right?
What's that?
The Fast and Furious movie, the very first movie, the first DVD, that was the first DVD I bought.
Oh, damn.
Ever?
Yeah, ever. So keep in mind, all right, now we know the first movie is about stealing fucking DVD players.
Right.
Well, we know why, all right? So I was working at a Dodge dealer. I got like a good bonus paycheck. For my dad's birthday, I bought him the first the DVD player in the house. And I bought him the DVD Gladiator, and then I bought myself Fast and Furious. Because back then, DVD, again, 2002, I guess that would have been?
Yeah.
DVD players were still like over $200.
Yeah, easily. Yeah,
You know what I mean? So, and just for the record, I looked on there. They didn't become available in Europe until 98. Asia in 99, and Australia, I think the end of 99, early 2000. So DVD players were stretched out over time. That's irrelevant. That has nothing to do with the film. I'm sorry. I just
That's
wasted your
another
time.
fun fact.
Yeah, it just
Show us fun facts.
I'm full
Show
of
us
useless
fun fact.
information. All right, that's that. I'm sorry. So here's the part. Now they don't know us. Now we're gonna get into the hot topics. I've got 3 topics. It's just gonna be like a little debate, what we think, which is better, awesome, sucky, whatever the case may be. All right. This one is complete open-ended. All right. Chris, what is, in your opinion, what is, and same thing for you, Darius, think about this. What is the worst movie of the series?
Too Fast, Too Furious all day.
Too Fast, Too
Too
Furious?
Fast, Too Furious all day.
Worst movie?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know. Because it's in between. Cause I'm not a huge fan of Tokyo Drift either.
Oh, wow.
I liked the concept of Too Fast, Too Furious. Like, it made sense. Just, I thought they could have done a lot better with the cars. Because you put in what do you have? He had an Evo and he had a Spider.
In Eclipse. And that was the worst Eclipse.
And
That was horrible.
besides like the off and on cars that they had for like the junk or the, like, what do you call them? The Lokis for the race to get rights for the car. Whatever.
Yeah.
Like they didn't really promote much about cars. It became more about a storyline. So I didn't like that. I liked the movies that were more about just street racing and just how to build up to that, and like obviously the little group gangs or whatever. But that shit made it a little bit more entertaining. So I guess it'd be in between. No, I'm gonna stick with Too Fast, Too Furious.
Too Fast, Too Furious. Okay. Darius.
The last one.
Fate of the Furious.
Yep.
Now, for the record, whoa. For the record, he said the last one. I just want to do a clarification.
Not Hobbs and Shaw.
I know, no. This, everything we're talking about, Hobbs and Shaw is not included. Hobbs and Shaw is, other than the 2 characters, that doesn't count. No. We're not talking about Hobbs and Shaw, because that was garbage.
Garbage.
All right? No Superman, none of that Samoan bullshit. We're just talking about the Fast and the Furious. So for you, you're saying the Fate of the Furious.
Fate of the Furious to me so far was the worst.
Okay. For me, I'm with Chris. By far, Too Fast, Too Furious was the worst movie. I've had many conversations with people. People always say, no, man, it was good. Tokyo Drift was trash. Fuck you. Okay? You know who you are. Fuck you. Tokyo Drift was good. It was different. That's why you didn't like it. Because you still had Brian.
Yeah.
So there was connectivity. It was, I'd say, for me, yeah, it's gotta be Too Fast, Too Furious. Now we're gonna pull a 180. What was the best movie of the series? Darius, I'll let you start this one up.
Jesus Christ.
I feel like we're all gonna say the first one,
Yeah.
I'm not.
but I'm gonna change it up too. Which one for you?
I'm probably gonna go first. I'm gonna be that generic one and go first because that's what introduced me into cars. So like it broke down like what they did to fix the car, the different styles of cars that was shown throughout the movie, based off the time frame being that it was like early 2000s. So I mean the style of cars have changed
Oh, heck yeah.
dramatically
Oh, yeah.
over the years.
Absolutely.
But
Absolutely.
that initial start to like that's what got me into cars, by far would probably be my favorite.
Okay, Chris.
I think it's Fast 5 when they go to Rio.
Yes, Brazil. Yeah.
Yep.
Fast Five.
I think that has to be mine.
What is it about the movie for you that resonates that that's your best movie?
Steal from the rich, give it to the poor type deal.
Robin Hood. Okay.
Yeah,
All right.
That definitely, and I'm not a huge rock fan, but I think bringing him into that, like in the beginning of his first appearance, I think it really brought the movie into a different perspective that maybe necessarily the beginning Fast and Furious didn't show.
I could definitely do that. That's definitely a movie I definitely like out of the series too.
So one thing, just because you said it, I didn't have it anywhere on here, but I'll say it because you said it. You want to know how The Rock got cast?
Sure. Yeah.
Talk about this being fucking bonkers. So when they were done with Fast and Furious, which is the fourth movie, Vin Diesel, he went out to social media and he asked for the fans to give him input. Somebody threw out the recommendation to cast Rock as the bad guy.
Okay.
So that was a complete social media recommendation, and they stuck with it.
That's pretty cool. That's
So
pretty cool.
for me, what did I say? We're talking about best favorite movie here.
Yeah.
Me personally, it's number 6.
Okay.
So now I was thinking in what you said, and you say, all right, you can say the first one because it's the classic. It's the one that started it all, and I get it. And I would say the first one would definitely be in my top 3, if not top 2. Me personally, I have to say 6, just because at that point you have so many characters. The characters are widely diverse, so there's more now. And I get sidetracked. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I read so much prepping for this video. Number 6 was so long originally, it was almost made into 2 movies.
Jesus Christ.
They had to cram it down. It was, that's how big it was. There's so much action. You have the scenes, the characters, the story, just everything all over the place. And I have to limit what I'm saying because there are other points that are going to come in later in the video that I don't want to give it away. But yeah, there are just reasons. In my opinion, it's definitely 6. 6 is the solid for me. Oh, I'm gonna fucking start crying right now. Shut up, man. I cried in the theater. Christina,
cheered up.
I'll second that. I definitely.
Christina,
I cheered up.
she got tickets for a head premiere. So we saw it like 2 or 3 weeks before it came out, and we had to go into New York. We went to AMC and everything, and they did this at the end, and like she heard me. And then she saw me tearing, and she's like, "Are you crying?" I'm like, "No." It was bad. To this day, I still cry. I watch the video, like, I'll manage to get through because I'm not watching the video. If you put me in front of that video, it's a wrap. I'm gonna get glassy eyed. You'll think I'm high. Like, yeah. All right. So that's the first part of Hot Topic. Let's see. So here's number 2 for Hot Topic. Who has the best heel car? Okay, now heel, that's meant the bad guy. Johnny Tran's S2000, DK's 370Z, or Phoenix's Gran Torino?
DK's.
DK.
I'm saying with DK.
Only reason why I say
That's
DK
a badass fucking
it's a
car.
badass car, but you see more of that car in the movie than the other 2 in the other movies.
The S2000
Yeah.
you see pretty deep, like maybe like 4 or 5 times, maybe
That's
4.
no, twice. It was that.
You had the garage.
You saw it in the garage when it was apart, and then you saw it at Race Wars when you were
Race
stressing.
Yeah,
That was it.
That's it.
Damn,
I mean,
I
you
thought it was
see
more.
the 370 drifting in the beginning. When he
Driving
does-
around, they pull up to his dad's house. He pulls a gun on him,
Yep.
and then he does the epic race at the end of the mountains.
And then, no, there's also the little drift scene when they're drifting throughout Tokyo.
Oh
trying to
yeah, the
chase them
chase
down.
when they're chasing Hunter.
So there's
Yeah.
definitely a lot more scenes in Tokyo Drift where you see
Where
that
you
car.
actually can see the car's potential and shit too.
Exactly.
So,
Yeah, it's a Z. Like it's the Gran Torino. It was a badass car. That was probably right there with the Z in being in the majority of the movie, where the S2000 didn't really have too much. But that was a badass looking S2000.
Yeah.
With the fucking dragon down the side and the obnoxious wing like was in the Skyline the other day. Yeah, we had a Skyline in here yesterday. That was an epic piece of trash. I'm sorry. It was bad. It was bad. You would think that like
Somebody put
I
it together with Lego
worked
pieces.
on it, and I don't do that.
It was literally a base Skyline Still a gorgeous car. Don't get me wrong. But it literally looked like this guy had a gift certificate to eBay. And
It was in
slapped-
shambles.
Yeah.
Okay, so here we go. So this is going to be the tough one. This is going to be the fun one. Best action sequence. Now here are your options. Okay? Dragging the Vault through Rio at the end.
Okay.
All right?
Okay.
The tank creating chaos in the bridge.
Okay.
When they were running over all those
Yeah.
cars, FYI, in that scene, they destroyed 250 cars just in that scene.
Jesus.
That's insane. Or the cargo plane on the runway. Which of those three, which scene had the best action sequence?
Action sequence wise? See, I want to go Rio because that's, like I said, that was my top movie.
I was
But-
thinking that when I was reading this because you said that, but
But there's not, like, when it comes to action related, like, yeah, there's a lot of, like, what the cup shadowing game, like, who has it and everything else like that.
yeah.
And then with them taking out almost the whole entire Rio Police Department, that was pretty dope. But I think I'm gonna have to go with the tank, because that was just destruction of mayhem and just that had me go like this. All right, okay, that got me into it. So yeah, I'm going with that with the tank.
With the tank. Okay, you got the tank. Darius.
As sad as it is, on the runway, the fact that like people died on that, and then the fight scene inside the cargo bin
Okay,
was pretty bad.
That's my personal. I think because if you think about that whole sequence, so they're on, just it's gonna take too
sequence is
fucking
cool.
long.
The
But
cars on the sequence was horrible.
they're on the what is this called again? The fucking runway?
Yeah.
They're on the runway. The plane lands in front of them. They open it. They're
Yeah.
trying to get on. They get on. There's a fight there. They're still chasing. They're shooting with those harpoon guns.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah,
trying to stop it from
So
taking
you're
off.
trying to stop it from lifting. You've got 4 different fights. Roman is in with his like little fucking beanie guy fighting in the Jeep next to him. Then you got Michelle Rodriguez in her fight, Dom in his fight. Mia's trying to get away.
Then you got that
Brian's in his fight.
one girl that jumped off the airplane to shoot the guy who
Giselle.
Yeah, she died.
Giselle. Yeah,
She
like
dies in style. I don't care what
Yeah.
anyone says. For someone as hot as she was to say, nope, not gonna be in the next Fast and Furious. Whoosh! Boom! And then takes out that freaking dude that was about to murder the fuck out of Hans. But that was dope.
Yeah.
That was dope.
Like I said, as bad and sad as it is that she dies, but like that whole sequence of
well, hey, you never know. Maybe she'll come back.
Hans
Maybe she'll
does.
come
that
back.
seems to
Hans
be.
does.
Michelle Rodriguez, we didn't see her die. Maybe she'll come back.
We didn't see her die.
Okay.
We saw her
She
fall.
went in a bunch of grass on the side of the runway.
Okay, so now I have a little did you know section. All right, these are fun facts that you probably didn't know. A lot of these I didn't know. Give me your input, commentate as I go along. All right. So now, who could you possibly imagine? Just think of maybe 1 or 2 off the top of your head. Imagine being in the role of Brian O'Connor if it wasn't Paul Walker. Just try to think of somebody real quick.
That's hard.
It is, right?
Like taking someone from like the series or like some random actor.
So somebody else.
His brother.
Because no, just like another name actor. Because I'll tell you this, they went
Matthew
through
McConaughey.
a lot. He's got the look for it, but he's too old. So they went through a lot of auditions. He was the number 8 person to audition. The people in the running for it was Eminem, Christian Bale, and Mark Wahlberg were the top of the list of who they were going
Now,
for.
out of that list, I always see Mark Wahlberg.
Right?
Christian Bale, I can't see him being in
Those-
You know what weirdly came to my mind, and it's gonna probably sound super weird. Channing Tatum.
that could have worked.
Yeah, maybe.
Because like
Because he does have that young look to him still.
yeah, And he's done like regardless of 22 Jump Street and all that other crap, he's done some different acting work to where I think he would fulfill the role pretty
He does have
decent.
the athletic ability to play the action parts too.
Yeah.
Okay, so now I think we talked about this before. We said about how Too Fast, Too Furious sucked, right?
Yep.
Because you said it didn't have the right feel.
Yeah, no.
Okay, so
I don't know why you guys don't like
no,
that.
no. Listen, he's gonna authenticate what I'm saying. As soon as he said this, I was like, I get that. Now I'm gonna read what the thought process was behind going for two. Look at that. There's the song. That's the only good thing about the movie is the song right here, right? So the director of Too Fast, Too Furious wanted the sequel to have the feelings of Japanese anime, an updated version of Speed Racer, the cartoon from the 60s, and the PlayStation game Gran Turismo.
Failed
That,
miserably.
yeah.
Failed miserably.
Those don't
That's-
even mesh together at
That's
all.
what he was going for when he made
Why?
the
Because he
second
added
movie.
Suki?
I don't
Is that the only
fucking
thing
know.
with the Japanese
I don't-
anime?
but
that
no,
was
but if-
legit the
but
only
if you
thing
think-
that gave that vibe.
The
that
only
whole
thing,
car.
the only thing I can say from an anime aspect, an anime aspect is like when they have like a lot of the streaks behind tailing the cars.
Okay, yeah.
So I guess you could say that's the only anime piece part.
With like the pink flames, the
Um,
blue flames, and shit like that.
yeah.
So
So
that definitely doesn't seem like that rap.
And Gran
concept wrapped
Turismo,
around.
like I can see because it was a lot cleaner of driving. Like it was kind of like, well, besides the Mustang getting smashed in between the semis, it was. That's still no. I'm still saying false. No, that doesn't do it.
Definitely don't.
So they wrote the script of the movie. We know what it is. They had approached Vin Diesel to come back with Paul Walker. They offered Vin Diesel $25 million for the second movie, and he turned it down.
No.
Yeah, so he turned it down. The guy the producer and director of the first Fast and Furious movie, he turned it down, and they went and made Triple X. Because that's how much-
Triple X was way better than fucking Too Fast and Furious.
That's how much they didn't believe in the script for what Fast and Furious was. Now, you said Brazil, right? Fast
Yeah.
5 was your favorite movie? Okay. You know that whole sequence when they're in the desert? When basically they link up with Vince and he says, hey, I got a job for you.
Yep.
And then there's that whole train heist.
Yep.
That sequence on the train, that cost $25 million.
Whoa. Why?
They
That's a
had,
pretty penny.
yeah, they bought the materials and built 600 yards of train track in the desert in Arizona, and they had to go out and buy a train.
Oof. Okay, yeah, that'll definitely.
They
put
went
that
out
on
and
budget.
bought a train. Yeah. So that one's on there. Being that we are at Mavis, this is something that you guys, all three of us, can appreciate.
You can contact us at
Yep.
Silver Mavis.
Right there, you
Numbers
see it?
right there.
For that first movie, Toyo donated 4,000 tires for the first movie.
I can see that. Twin, I'm gonna get another set.
So you think
Well,
that's double the amount of tires we have upstairs?
That is
Damn.
double.
That's insane.
I think I'm gonna wrap it up and set.
Okay, now
tires ain't cheap.
when was the last time you saw Fast and Furious 6? The one we're talking about the cargo
2
plane.
nights ago.
2 nights ago, you saw it. When did you see it?
Probably about a week ago.
Okay, I saw it the other day. Now you know how long that ending sequence is?
Yeah.
That's probably like 15 minutes long
Yeah.
movie time. All right. The ending sequence is so long that if it were to be based on actual time and the speeds that the cars are driving with the speed of the plane, that would translate to the runway being 29 miles long.
God damn. Holy
That doesn't even
shit.
sound feasible.
Keep in mind, the longest runway in the world is 3.4 miles.
Oh my god.
Yeah, so there's no feasibility to that one.
So they do everything in super slow-mo and then just speed it up?
Oh my god, it's crazy. So there's that one, and I got one more fun fact on here. Now, you know Ja Rule's character in the first movie, Edwin.
Briefly, yeah.
Okay. So when they were going through and doing Too Fast, Too Furious, when they said, hey, Ja Rule, or not Ja Rule, I'm sorry, Vin Diesel, come back for it, blah, 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 he turned it down. So what
Ja Rule was his understudy?
they went back and they approached Ja Rule. They wanted him to be the primary co-star with Paul Walker, and he turned it down. And then that's
Instead
when
of Tyrese?
And then that's.
Thank God.
Well, no, because they were going after Vin Diesel.
Oh.
So he turned it down, and then that's when they went after Ja Rule, and then they turned him down, and then they tweaked it and went a different direction. So they changed the story. They got Tyrese for that, and then they cast Ludacris to be the side part. So because
I think I like the Tyrese Ludacris.
Oh,
yeah.
of course. It definitely grew.
I'm hungry.
Yeah.
Okay, so here we are. So now we're doing the trivia. All right. All right. So I got 9 questions. All right. Stop looking.
I'm ready.
Stop looking.
I can't read that.
Shout out to Motivate.
Okay, so now let me ask you, how do you guys do this? Do you want me to go like ask you, then you, or do you want to chime in
Here,
thinking you know the
let's
answer?
put your knees the buzzer.
Okay, all right, that's what we're gonna do.
Yeah.
All right. So you guys call it at home. All right. So when we watch this replay, all right. So they're gonna chime in. We'll just do whoever gets the most right answers. I got 9, so that's what we're gonna do. All right. In what movie does the entire crew drive the same vehicle at the same time? And no one's hit my knee yet.
The same vehicle at the same time?
Yes. Remember, the entire crew.
Which crew?
The crew that's working. Again, our crew. The Fast and Furious.
Yeah, but you got one crew of the first movie, and then you got a whole different crew with Tyrese Ludacris.
No. I understand that, but that's what I'm saying. Because you figured there are different components.
They're driving the
The
same.
same car. Now, I thought about this going through.
Like, are they driving the same car but in different vehicles?
Rio.
It would be Rio. They're all driving the.
They're all handcuffed and they're all in there.
Wait, say that one again?
They're all handcuffed and someone else.
No. They're
No, they're not.
driving.
Oh, they're driving.
They're driving.
When they're all driving the police cars.
Not the entire crew. I thought about this very clearly to see if that qualifies, but the entire crew was not working. And I'll get back to that in a second. I'll tell you why.
But they were all in the same car, though?
No, not all in the same car. They're all driving the same car.
I would want to freaking cop cars too.
Yeah.
So
Cop cars from Rio.
How's that on everybody? Oh, they don't have Letty or
in
anything.
Fast and Furious 7, they were all driving the not 7. I'm sorry, 6.
The BMWs.
The BMWs. Yep.
Fuck, I forgot all about that.
The BMWs. Because they were that's the cars that The Rock gave them to drive when they were hunting down.
Yep.
Shaw.
Okay, all right, here we go.
Darius gets a half a point for a description of why.
No, he doesn't get it. He doesn't get it. All right, can you name who the 2 MMA fighters are that Letty has fought with in the movies?
Ronda Rousey was one.
And
I can't think of her name.
Holly Holmes.
No.
No. I don't know that many chick UFC fighters.
Ronda Rousey and
Nunez?
was it
No.
Amanda Nunez? No.
I know Ronda Rousey was in friggin'. That was what?
7.
That was 7,
Yeah,
yeah.
7.
That was
Yep.
7.
Yep, she was the prince's bodyguard
Yes.
when they were at the party in the tower.
You stumped me. I don't
Yeah,
know
I
Ronda
don't know the
Rousey.
second one.
So is Gina Serrano.
I don't know who the
Yeah,
fuck.
She was the one that worked with The Rock, and then when they're at the military base, she was the one that turned and walked out with Shaw. The
She was
one
a UFC fighter?
Yeah.
I didn't know she was.
Well, or no. Keep in mind, I said MMA. I
Okay.
think she was in the UFC for a short time, but she's done other MMAs.
She got some big
Yeah.
moves.
Yeah, she was also Angel in Deadpool.
Yes.
Yes.
Superhero landing.
Yep.
She used to
That's
do MMA?
Yeah.
I can see it. She's got the.
She got some tickle bitties.
Yeah. She'll knock you out with her punch.
All right.
Watch
All right.
out
So
for the
right
chest.
now they're both 0 for 2. I'm surprised. I wasn't expecting this.
I want to test for steroids.
All right, here we go. What was the first scene that both Brian and Letty were in together? And if there's any confusion, let me just say it this way too, that they had dialogue together. I'll say it
I was
that
gonna
way.
say fucking Dom's fucking sandwich shop.
That they had dialogue together.
Dialogue. Well, they were talking to each other.
Yes.
Fast 5?
She wasn't in Fast 5.
No, she wasn't. We're just.
You're out. You're done. Opportunity to steal.
Does it count on the cell phone? Because Brian, quote unquote, calls somebody, and then that's when Vin Diesel finds that Letty's number comes up on Brian's phone.
Well, no, that wouldn't count because technically
That's dialogue.
No, but here's the thing. Let's just say
Well, we
if
don't know
that
it was
happened, that's off screen.
Yeah,
So
true.
this is an on-screen
then
question.
Well, technically, I know too.
Okay.
I was probably a little bit better based, but I swear, 'cause I thought. But you also made a good point that they had to be talking to each other. You didn't hear her.
Sean, your questions are too hard.
No, they're not hard. They're not hard.
Fair for someone who researched.
Okay. So it's actually when they're at the military base in 6, and he's saying, because remember, she had amnesia at this point, and he said, hey, I'm sorry for blah, blah, blah. Because the backstory was in 4, he was running her to try to free Dom.
Yeah.
Right.
But again, that was all leading up to 4. We never saw that. That was just the backstory. So at the end of 6, he's apologizing, saying, hey, blah, blah, blah. And she's like, I know myself. One thing is nobody makes me do anything I don't want to do. So that was the first on-screen dialogue they had together. All right, here's something easier. I really hope you guys get this. What type of vehicle did Brian drive when working for Harry in the first Fast and
Ford
Furious
Lightning.
movie? Yes, Ford ST.
Boom! Hey! Did you know why I got that right? Because that was gonna be my fucking Twitter or friggin' sorry for YouTube.
That's the only.
Friggin' video.
That's
That
the
was
only.
gonna be my question.
That was the first and only F-150 that I liked.
Ford Lightning.
Yeah.
Boom!
Okay.
Hit that buzzer.
All right.
Let's go.
All right, here we go.
On the board.
Now, this is why I had to be careful before when I was talking about my son Connor, because this is going into that question. Over the course of the 3 movies, now think carefully,
Over 3 movies.
okay? Now think carefully, because we were talking the other day, and you had made a point. This point, the point that you made, is not relative, okay? So listen carefully. Over the course of the movies, there were 3 kids born in the stories. Name them.
Dominic. Jax. Wasn't it Jax? Wasn't it? Yeah, Brian's son was Jax.
Yeah. Dom Jr. and fuck.
And Vince's kid. Dominique, or fucking, what the hell? He's named Dom too, because he's named after his Uncle Dom. So there's 3.
No, but you only said 2. You said.
No, I said Dom's kid with the cop.
All right, I need that name.
Brian.
Okay.
His name was Brian.
So it was Brian, Jack, and Nico.
Dom.
Okay.
Nico. Which
Now,
is
so
Dom.
Nico was one that we were considering. That's
Yeah.
the one Christina came up with.
The bam, 2 for 2.
Well, see, here's the thing. I could be a dick and say, all right, name both parents, but I'm not gonna do that. I'm not gonna
Yeah,
do
I don't know Vince's.
I got some.
Rosa.
Yeah, no, that's fucking good. That's good. That's good. I had to go look in the credits. I was like, I don't think they say your fucking
I
name.
pictured the note that Dom wrote her.
Okay, that one's good. The silver chain and cross that goes back and forth between Dom and Letty. What does it symbolize?
Family.
No.
He said he said it in well, technically Christianity is the cross.
I thought it.
It's a tracker. I'm just naming everything.
I'm pretty sure he said something about family.
And definitely, this is familiar. At one point he said that, I thought.
I gotta finish this. It's getting dry. Getting dry, getting flat, I mean, and warm.
I was gonna say that's his throat that's getting dry.
Let me know when you give up.
I give up.
I give up.
It's their wedding ring. Remember in the
Shit,
flashback
yeah,
they got married
With
and
Letty,
they didn't have
he's
a
like,
ring,
he's
so
like,
it
this
takes
is all,
off
this
his
is all I
name.
have, and it's perfect.
Yeah.
Shit.
That was when they were in the flashback to the Dominican Republic. She's like, I remembered because he died in 7, and she's trying to talk to him. Yeah. Yeah. All right. How many times do Dom and Brian race?
Whew. I gotta count this first. 1, 2,
5.
I'm counting 4. I'm going 4.
Okay, you have the first race.
Yeah,
all
the
the
very
cars.
first one was the Eclipse.
You have
the one with the Supra.
You have the with the blue R34 and Dom's Charger.
forgot about that one. Okay, well then that would be 5 for me.
Okay, you have them potentially, I guess, racing when what baby's being born. And then I don't know if you count that as a race when they're driving off together at the end. Okay, I'm gonna go forward then, because it's forward.
Yeah, that's it.
But what about when they're racing all the Dodge Chargers, the cop cars? He's racing Dom.
Yeah, but I said Dom and Brian.
Brian's in there too.
Yeah, but
You're
that's not a heads up
racing to
race.
win.
That's not a heads up race.
You didn't say heads up. You said Dom
Oh.
versus Brian. Okay, he's versus Brian and Tyrese and Ludacris.
All right. Well,
And
here's the
Hobbs.
thing. All right. This is what I'll do. I'll give you both a point on that because you're saying to count that. Well, he's also counting the race at the beginning. Now, again, I wasn't counting that initial race. I was going.
I was going off the initial.
I was going off
Supra.
the end of with the train. I was going with the qualifying race and fast forward. But again, there's 4 people there.
But they end up doing the quarter-mile drag race together.
Yeah. And then, all right, so I guess I was saying 3 on those specific ones, but if you want to get loopholes, I guess you could say 4 or 5. All right, so I'll give you both a point on that. As the best fucking song in the world comes on. Okay. All right, I'm forgiving.
I think
workable.
the most iconic one was "Don't Cheat This Time."
Yeah,
that's
when
the
he
most
has the blue
Yep.
GTR.
That's the most iconic one.
All
He
right.
let you win. Nah.
All right.
Nah.
All right,
He
okay,
didn't win.
okay.
That was a baby gift.
All right, I think this one's going to stump you guys because I put in faith in you in the other ones. All right, Darius, are you ready?
Yeah.
You ready?
Let's go.
All right,
3
here we
for
go.
3.
Mia has driven 4 cars throughout the series. Name them.
Oh fuck.
The Integra, the NSX.
I expect you guys to get 3 of the 4. I don't expect you guys to get the 4th
The
one.
Integra, the NSX.
Shit, she was driving. She drove the Supra because Brian had to grab Vince.
Yep,
That's 3.
that's 3.
I don't know the last one.
I gotta think.
You got me stumped.
Is that the three? Was that the 3 that you were
the
thinking that we were
Supra,
gonna get?
the
Well,
NSX,
those,
and the
those,
Integra.
yeah, those are the 3. I didn't expect you to get the other one. Now, when this movie originally came out, it wasn't a factor here in this country. You guys obviously know how much I love this brand because I continue to talk about them. On the runway, when they back out of the plane, Brian's driving it, and then he goes through the sunroof and he shoots it. She's driving an Alfa Romeo Giulietta. Yep.
The fucking Alfa.
So at that point when it came out, I didn't know much about Alfa Romeo. Now I love them. I was trying to get a Giulia, but they're driving the Giulietta. The Giulia is the 4-door sedan. The Giulietta is the hatchback. This is an easy one. You guys will get this. In Fast and Furious 5, what was the car holding the computer chip that detailed Reyes' Enterprise?
2014, or fucking hyper something.
No.
Yes, it was. It was
No,
the Lycan
no,
Hypersport.
No.
That was the one that was on the top where they grabbed
The GTO or the GTR.
No, the Ford
GT.
GT. Yeah,
The
that's
Ford
it.
GT.
The Ford GT40.
was originally, yeah.
Because
okay.
remember, they got a hold of it. They took it into the hiding, the rock. They
Then
took it
that-
apart,
that-
apart,
and
and
then
they put it
was
back
the second.
together, and they
The
said,
Hyper
"What
was
doesn't
the
belong?"
second, Yeah.
I got that one.
Yeah.
Yep, you got
Ford
it.
GT.
You got that.
All right. All right. Now you guys can appreciate this. My last name is Monica, so this one hits home for me a little bit.
Oh, Monica.
My last name is Monica. That being said, there were 2 Monicas in the Fast and Furious series. Where were they in the movies?
Y'all rules, girl.
Potential girl.
Yeah.
And I have a fun fact about that
You
too.
didn't win. Let's
I
go, Menage.
There's another Monica.
There's another Monica. There's one more Monica.
Did they say the name of her?
Yes.
You got me stumped on that. I did not know there was a second one.
I'm gonna tell you. You're gonna,
And the second one.
I'm gonna tell you, and you're gonna wish
Monica-
you could kick yourself in the ass.
Monica. Fuck. What the hell is it? They say her first and last name. I mean.
She was in the second one?
Ava Mendez.
Her name was
Monica Fuentes. She's an FBI agent.
Her name was Monica?
Yes.
I know Fuente, her first name was Monica?
Yeah.
That's what I said. It was in the second one. I was like, I knew they said her first and last name. I was like, huh, you got this. I got that one. 4.
Now, you want to know the funny? Here's a fun fact about the Monica chick with Ja Rule's girl.
Yep.
She was a real Ja Rule groupie.
Oh.
Yeah. So they wanted to tweak the scene a little bit before they filmed it. She was in his trailer, so he went and he got her, and that was one of his legit real groupies.
That's not a bad girl to have a groupie.
Yeah, I'll take that.
Okay, so now we're gonna finish up where this whole thing started. All right. Again, so many cars have been in these movies. We're probably at the point where we said before about 70 or 80. There's definitely been more than that, but we're talking about obviously the focal point cars, the ones that you can put your finger on and pin out. Of all those cars, we have to narrow them down. I said 3 originally. I was like, no, I can't even do that. That's too much. 5. Darius 1 and 10. I said 10. That's too much. That devalues some of the better cars. So 5 is the agreed number.
With an honorary mention.
And we get 1 honorable mention. All right. So, which one of you guys want to go first?
You can go first. I'll go first.
Yeah.
So, no specific order. Ryan Silver R34. That first scene where he picks him out. Yo, I got a race. You want to come? You know I can always use that extra cash.
Yup.
Opens up that gate. You just see him fly down.
Yup.
Sick. Second, Veilside RX-7. That body kick is
We talked about that. So that's so all right. So the GTR, he said that's the one where he basically opens up in Fast and Furious 2.
Yep. The very first one.
The red Veilside Mazda, that is Dom's, just for basically the early part, and then he ditches. So that's where that one is.
That was the fast one.
Well, this Veilside, I'm talking about the RX-7 from Tokyo.
Oh, you're talking about the yellow.
Okay.
Oh, okay. Different Veilside. The Veilside. Okay.
The Veilside.
All right, so
Besides
that's
this is
Tokyo.
a complete different body kit.
Yeah.
It makes the car not even look like a normal RX-7. If you didn't know what that car was, I mean, a lot of people looked at Tokyo Drift and they were like, what is that? A lot of people didn't even know it was an RX-7.
No. Because with the way the body kit was,
Yeah, that was bad.
the body kit was so different, it completely changed the front. You got to put different headlights in it.
Mhm.
It was completely different.
So it definitely changed the whole style of car. Love that. Dom's Charger, definitely in my top 5.
It has to.
Just an all-around badass car.
Okay, so was it
That's three. 350Z from Tokyo Drift.
Which one? There was like 7.
DKs?
DKs.
Okay.
Okay.
Just love that car. Brian Supra, of course, the
Yeah.
first one.
Okay, so 10 second.
Huh?
The 10 second.
10
mark.
second, yeah.
All right.
And then
The tangerine.
my honorable mention, the blue Porsche 911.
Ew! Ew, the one that they won in Brazil? That was disgusting.
What?
No, I'm sorry. No.
How so?
I'm sorry.
He's
the
not
rims!
agreeing.
Those
Not
rims
agreeing.
are fucking bicycle spokes.
Yeah, that's
I'm
true.
sorry.
That
I'm
is true.
sorry.
That Porsche 911 is probably still been one of my favorite cars because there's nothing.
Giselle's Porsche was better than that one.
That is true.
Giselle's Porsche was plain. And that's a GT.
That's the point, and it was better.
Yeah, but that GT is probably one of the most all-around best built cars out there.
See, and this is why we couldn't do 10 cars.
Yeah.
Because of that. That's why right there. But it's an honorable mention. I can appreciate it. I can appreciate that. That's perfectly fine. All right, Chris, you're up to bat.
I'm gonna start with my 5, which would also be the Skyline, the R34. That's the only reason I put that at 5 because the rest of the ones I feel like they have a lot.
Are these in specific order for
Yes,
you?
yeah,
all right.
these
So,
are in order.
all right. So Darius was just top 5. Chris is doing specific 5 to 4 to 3 to 2 to 1.
Yeah.
Okay, I wasn't prepared for that myself.
Surprising everyone. My number 4 was the 97 Veilside RX-7 for the first one.
Oh, so Dom's red one.
Yep, the
Okay.
original.
Okay.
Just because I don't know what caught me. 1A when it first started just sounded bad, but then I know this is an add-on for almost you can put it in almost any freaking car. But when he lifts up the seat,
Yeah.
and turns,
I was literally just saying that. Yeah.
That was like such like a that's fucking cool. So like I had to put that on the top just because not even because it's a badass car, but for that feature.
the secret nitrous component.
Exactly. And then he clicks the hazard button. go. I'm like, it's fucking dope. Number 3 would be the 94 Supra from Fast 1.
All right.
Because it was cool too. It was a cool car, and then it actually had everybody working on it. That made it even cooler.
He's like, yo, you see me in a 10-cent car, you have no faith. Pop the hood. Pop the hood.
Jay-Z motor, no shit.
I stand corrected. No, not for. Oh, I'm sorry. You go ahead, then I'll go back.
For my number 2 would be the 2014 Lykan Hypersport from Fast 7. Cars don't fly, Dom. Cars don't fly. Just when he started that up, and literally like real, fake, CGI, whatever it was, and he smashed on the fucking gas, and that thing stood still and just roasted until okay, yeah, I'll let it go now. And like, no, I'm sorry, there's nothing. And then obviously number 1, fucking Dodge Charger, 1970 Dodge Charger, big ass fucking blower. Second, like, I don't care about who you are, if you're a car guy, and you pop the clutch and your front end can lift up off the ground, instant boner for males. Just saying. And
I can't disagree with you on that.
yeah, I'm sorry. And then my honorable mention is the Bugatti Veyron.
In Dubai,
Yeah.
Abu Dhabi.
When he pulls up, slick as hell, all white, a stance. Oh, definitely my honorable mention, but I don't think it's good enough to hit the top 5.
Okay, all right. I can tell right now I probably have the most boring car on my list, but I'm gonna leave it off. It's my honorable mention. All right. So my top 5. Again, no specific order. I did the same thing Darius did. I can't get that detailed on here. Let's start right off the bat, just going through Brian's Mitsubishi Eclipse. The way you open up the first movie, he's trying to figure out how much NOS he needs. In order to try and get into the racing circuits when he's at Dodger Stadium.
Yeah, the
So
biggest
that's I don't care. That car is fantastic. When I had my car, you saw the pictures of my car I had. I was because of that car, I spent probably about 4 or 5 months trying to find similar 7-spoke rims to put on my car, and I couldn't find them. I could not find them. I was so pissed off. So, but yeah, so there's that one definitely there. Obviously, we got Clementine. We got the orange Supra. That's definitely in there. So we've got that one. That it is what it is. Dom's Charger. All right.
I think that's gonna easily
That's
make
gonna be
everyone's
everybody's
top 5.
Because here's the thing. It comes back to the fact of the Charger's been all over the place, and there's another car that I have on here too. You know what I mean? The Charger's basically been in the first movie, the 5th movie, the 7th movie, and there were other movies that he was in. When you think it's a Charger, but it's not. It's a Challenger that he painted black. In Fast and Furious 4, he was in a black Chevelle. That is that black Chevelle is technically the same red and white Chevelle he drove off at the end of the first movie. Which, for you fun fact people out there, when that movie was done filming, he gave one of those cars to his daughter.
That's dope.
And she was born when the first movie was done.
What?
So when she gets her license, she has a 1970 Chevelle waiting for her. That's insane. So again, there's just like, a lot of the muscle cars, you don't know if it's a Charger or not, but they're all similar. So like I said, my Eclipse, the Supra, the Charger. I'm gonna take one from Darius here, and it's Hans Mazda RX-7. That black and yellow, that's for me. If I had to do a top 3, I could do a top 3 easily, and that would be one of the 3.
It just looks so original and so different.
It's clean.
Yeah.
It's so clean, and like it doesn't look like a Japanese vehicle. It looks like an exotic.
Yeah.
That's done properly. You don't get that a lot. Like the Skyline that was in here yesterday. So that's my 4. To top off my 5, it's a semi-generic car. Now, Darius had said the GTR, the silver GTR from Too Fast, Too Furious.
You're gonna go with the yellow one.
No, I'm going to go with
Blue.
Brian's GTRs. So as you go over the course of the movies, in 4, he didn't have it in 5, but you figure he had it in 4, he had it in 6, he had it in 7. His regular Nissan Skyline GTRs, those ones, because that's my favorite car. That's I don't think it's because of him, but that is like the one car I would take above a Ferrari. Ferrari, that's like one of my favorites too. I have an affliction for those cars. Now, my honorable mention, like I said, is something so very boring in mentioning it. It's just gonna kind of bring things down to like.
You're gonna pick out like the one Prius that was in there.
My honorable mention is the white Supra that Brian drove off in at the end of Fast and Furious 7.
Okay.
I mean, that's just such a clean, classic-looking car.
It's not even a matter. It has nothing to do with that. It's just a matter of because of like what that scene and that moment represents.
That was like his angel wings going into heaven. Like that.
Wasn't that actually one of Brian's cars too?
I don't know. Because that's the only time when you see it. You see it's not done up anything. It doesn't have crazy rims. It's just a plain white
I do
Supra
remember reading something
with
about that actually was his own personal car.
with the big wing.
Mm-hmm.
So like for me, it's just kind of like again, you figure again. I said it before. I graduated in 2001. Here we are in 2020. I've grown up watching these movies. So like when I speak with like Christina, like for she likes the Harry Potter movies and there are other things that she likes. This is that for me. Chris, you said you've been in cars for 15 years.
Yeah.
So, but now, did you start watching the series before you got into cars, and then you backtracked?
No, I was briefly in the cars before the movies.
Okay.
And then I started watching the
You got
movies,
more
and
into
that's what made me think. 'Cause I never got into like trying to sport up your car. I
Yeah.
was more like you said, A to B, but I knew how to fix my stuff if something broke. But then once I started seeing the Fast and Furious movies and stuff, oh, you can put that on and shit. Okay.
It's like
I was able to like really think like, okay, I can make my car go faster. I can make my car freaking louder. All right, let's do this.
like for me and Darius, he actually just got his Civic back yesterday. It's been out of commission for like almost a year just because he can't catch a break. So he's finally on the road to recovery, going up and up with his car now, which is kind of
follow him on
ironic.
Instagram.
Yeah, what's your Instagram?
DNiceFA5_TTG.
Remember that. I'll put that in the description if you want to check out his page. But like for me, like I did some stuff on a car. I had an 02 Dodge Stratus, and people are like, "Dude, it's a fucking Stratus. What are you doing?" I made it look nice. They've seen the pictures. But like me, I'm a car guy to talk and observe and look at and enjoy. I'm not a mechanic. I have no desire to work on cars. These guys do. They look at me crazy like, wait, what? But like the video games, when me and Christina got married, our honeymoon, I chose our destination just on the basis of it was in my video game. And I went there, and I have pictures to prove it. She thought I was crazy. She's like, "Why do you want to go there?" And I'm like, "It's in my fucking video game. I want to go." And we did, and she loved it. It was fantastic. But I'm getting yelled at. But no. But this was fun. We were talking about trying to figure out how to do a car video, and just because of like the timing again, what's going on this week, I gotta go. And so. I hope you guys enjoy this. This was fun. I can only imagine what other videos we wind up doing. But again, hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Give us your input. Give us your input on what you think, your moments, trivia, throw at us, favorite movie, cars, stuff like that. And I looking forward to seeing you soon on a future episode. Have a good one.
Peace.